Now, the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Gombe State has threatened to issue a bench warrant to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for failing to appear before it. The tribunal judge, Justice Mohammed Sirajo, has requested INEC to come and testify on the pending case before it, but INEC failed to appear at the last sitting. The tribunal had granted requests to the petitioner to inspect the electoral documents on the governorship election won by Governor Ibrahim Dakwambo of the People's Democratic Party.
The court has very wisely applied caution while not being too happy about the development. And so they deferred consideration of that till Monday, hoping that between now and Monday, which is where you people are also, gentlemen of the press, can be helpful to us. These are the kind of information that should go into the public domain, so that if by any reason they don't get to know through the Secretary of the Tribunal, they will get to know from your report that the court has ordered the Secretary of EFCC to be present in court on Monday in response to the subpoena that was earlier served on them, the proof of which is before the tribunal. So that's where we are now.
The subpoena was served on the EFCC Secretary and it's not in court. So they made, the counsel to the petitioner made an application for him to be forced to come to court, not forced to come to court, but to somehow so cause why it was not in court. But the judge gave them one more adjournment, which is Monday. If by Monday they are unable to come, then they will issue a bench warrant against him or against them to come and testify before the court. Because it's a subpoena. When you subpoena a witness, it's an order of the court.
The Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Professor Ben Angwe, has assured internally displaced persons in Abuja that the Commission will do all it can to ensure their safety and right to shelter. Mr. Angwe gave the assurance while receiving the displaced persons who came to seek the help of the Commission, following an eviction notice by the owner of the estate in which they had taken refuge. He assured the developer that the Commission will work to ensure that the displaced persons are relocated within the shortest possible time by the relevant authorities. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafor, has a report.
Men, women and children from the Waso internally displaced persons camp in a poor district of the Federal Capital Territory on a peaceful protest to the National Human Rights Commission to seek help following an eviction notice by the owner of a property they reside in.
We need a help from you people to talk to the owner of the estate, if it is possible, that you should give us a time that let us stay there for some time. When peace restores in our community, we will humbly go back to our villages.
The Executive Secretary, who commended them for approaching the Commission, assured them that the necessary arrangements will be made to ensure that they do not lose their right to safe shelter.
I'm also going to appeal to the police, who the landlord has appealed to help him to recover his premises from you, to also give you that space until we are able to get responsible authorities to find an immediate solution to your problem.
To match words with action, the Executive Secretary and his team joined the displaced persons to the said settlement, where he inspected their living conditions. He pleaded with the representative of the developer to give the Commission time to reach out to relevant government agencies to move the displaced persons.
Request that you do give them some little time, give us between today and next week to do all those arrangements. So we want to thank you for all the efforts you have been making to make provision for these vulnerable Nigerians that have found themselves in this condition for effort of theirs.
I will appreciate it honestly if you can do all this great favor and see that between now and next week, as you just said, that this whole matter is resolved, so that we can always see tomorrow and still smile at each other.
They have come, they have asked, and they have gotten what they have come to ask for. But what is of most importance to these people is for the war on insurgency to succeed so that they can return home and rebuild their lives. Amaka Okafor, Channels Television News.
A forum within the People's Democratic Party from Kogi East Senatorial District has endorsed the incumbent governor, Idris Wada, for a second term. The chairman of the forum said the decision to adopt Governor Wada was to avoid rancor and unnecessary bickering, which was the major undoing of the party during the last general election.
Seated in this hall are PDP members drawn from 9 local government areas of the Eastern Senatorial District of Kogi State. They're here to present before newsmen reasons the governor of the state, Idris Wada, should run for a second term.
It is pertinent to consider the background in which the governor operated to be able to appreciate his effort. This is a governor who has had the greatest legal fatal challenges in the history of the state. The only governor who was involved in a fatal accident and was bedridden for a period of 3 months. The governor has been able to manage these challenges to the best of his ability and at the same time move the state forward to an enviable level. It is against this background that we deem it fit and necessary to publicly come out today to pass a vote of confidence on this gentleman.
That done, the group moves to the banquet hall of the Government House, Lokoja, where they meet with the governor. Governor Wada thanks the group for their support while promising not to let them down.
And I feel touched that in the current environment, all of you believe in me. It's not easy to make such a determination at this stage, particularly when there's so much rumor and stories going around. And usually at this stage, it's negative stories that people spread. But the faith you have in me, I assure you, is not misplaced, and that I will live up.
The forum may have endorsed the governor for a second term, but the ultimate decision lies with the people.
Meanwhile, the issue of a $75 million World Bank loan pending approval from the National Assembly has left the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the All Progressives Congress, APC, trading verbal punches as the 2016 governorship election draws closer. Speaking to Channels Television in Benin City, the Edo State capital, the publicity secretary of the PDP, Chris Nehikari, alleges that Governor Adams Oshiomhole wants to further worsen the state's debt profile. But the APC chairman, Anselm Ojezwa, in his reaction, says the loan is a testimony to the good works of the state government.
I'm writing to seek the consideration of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and approval of a request by the Edo State government to obtain a $75 million credit facility from the World Bank.
Approval of the $75 million World Bank loan to Edo State government, a request by President Muhammadu Buhari in a letter read by Senate President Bukola Saraki on the floor of the Senate. In Edo State, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, are calling for a rejection of the proposal. The publicity secretary of the PDP, Chris Nehikari, claims that the Edo State government will divert the money for election campaigns.
This government alone, the local governments alone, have received $212 billion as May this year. Now we are in shock. It's unbelievable that this government wants to collect more money and bequeath a debt legacy. And we reject it, and we beg the Senate, we beg the President of Nigeria to also reject it. We tell the World Bank and that's what Shomole and his government show to them the indices under which they said the first tranche was a success.
That notion is countered by the All Progressives Congress APC. State Chairman of APC, Anselm Ojezwa, confirms that the loan approval has reached this stage simply as a result of the lofty achievements of the administration in Edo State.
Ordinarily, because they don't give out gifts, that's why they call this a loan. This is a loan that attracts 1% interest. It has a moratorium period of 10 years, and you have 40 years to pay. How does this compare with the loans PDP takes? And let me tell you, the only other government I know that has enjoyed this facility is Lagos State. Even the federal government has not been known to qualify for this particular type of loan.
As the two parties continue to exchange words on the issue of the $75 million World Bank loan, the National Assembly is the organ to decide what goes now by granting approval or otherwise.
Well, in just a moment, new training center for resident doctors begins operation. Do join us again.